I wanna shoot, baby.
What's up guys, Connie here. This weekend Deadpool finally got a shot at his own movie and murdered the competition, earning a record $135 million at the box office. And frankly, I think Ryan Reynolds is just as surprised as you are. So in this episode of Nerdy Notes, we're going to take a look at the character of Deadpool, what you need to know to be caught up with the story, and my spoiler-free take on whether or not it's worth the hype. First up, backstory. Wade Wilson. Nope. Not that Wade Wilson. Forget about that. Forget about that! Wade Wilson's backstory is purposefully murky. In most versions of the story, he's kind of like a Robin Hood-esque mercenary, if there is such a thing. The comics aren't really clear about his background. In some issues, he's an American working for the Special Forces when he gets kicked out. Then the story changes to where he's Canadian working for the Army. His childhood was crappy, his mom died of cancer, his dad was abusive, or he was tricked into accidentally killing his parents, or his dad was Loki. The story really changes a lot, but we'll get into that later. But flash forward, he ends up falling in love with teenage prostitute Vanessa Carlyle. Shortly after he finds out he's dying of terminal cancer, he breaks up with Vanessa to spare her the pain. Side note, Vanessa is super heartbroken and pissed after this point and becomes a mercenary as well because, spoiler alert, she turns out to be a mutant who can shapeshift. He enlists in a special weapons development branch of the Canadian government. Yep, there it is again. It sounds really weird when you say that, but okay. He volunteered to be a test subject in their Weapon X program where he's enhanced with the super healing ability of another famous test subject, Wolverine. No, don't go there. Go back, bring it back. The accelerated regeneration of his cells means that he cannot die. He's had his heart ripped out, he's had his head crushed and decapitated a bunch of times. His body just grows right back. Unfortunately for him, so do the cancer cells, which leaves his body disfigured. Wade doesn't last that long in the Weapon X team as they're unable to control him. He's shipped off to a rehabilitation facility called Hospice, which is actually where rejects are tortured for fun and placed in a Deadpool to see which one of them will last the longest. Joke's on them though, he's immortal! If that and a lot of this sounds insane, it's because Deadpool literally is insane. He spends a lot of time arguing with two voices in his head, usually shown on the page as separate dialogue boxes written in different fonts. Which brings us to the other unique part of his character. Deadpool's insanity not only makes for great comedic relief, but also it allows his character to break the fourth wall. That is to say, Deadpool, after going insane, is aware that he's a comic book character. This makes for a lot of tongue-in-cheek humor and variations on his backstory. The backstory behind the backstory, fourth wall, see what I did there, is that Deadpool was an unlikely survivor of the 1990s, a time when Marvel Comics was going bankrupt and the only thing they could do to stay afloat was to keep making mutants for some reason and sell the movie rights to their most popular characters including Spider-Man, the Fantastic Four, and X-Men. Because that worked out really, really well. As you may know and are probably trying really hard to forget, some weirdly misinterpreted version of Deadpool appears in Wolverine Origins. It's like they were saying, hey, you know that character everyone loves? Let's take his name, cast a decent actor, and then shit all over the whole thing because we don't get it. Way to Sam Raimi that up. But Ryan Reynolds kept fighting for the chance to do Deadpool some justice, and the rest is history. So was it worth the hype? My honest verdict is that yes, it definitely is. You think about how difficult it is to keep people engaged in a story in which the main character is constantly breaking the fourth wall. And if you think about the fact that the market right now is so oversaturated with superhero movies, it's crazy. The time is definitely right for real fans of the character to make a movie like this. It's better to think of this as an R-rated comedy rather than a superhero movie. It's got great action and fight sequences, witty dialogue, and some truly hilarious moments. Ryan Reynolds does a fantastic job, never thought I would say that one, of bringing some weight to a character that could have been written off as just a joke. So now we can settle this once and for all. Bizarro, lame, weird Deadpool with his mouth sewed shut was not Ryan Reynolds' fault. Neither was Hal Jordan in Green Lantern. Or Hannibal King in Blade Trinity. Holy crap, has he just been playing the same character in every single superhero movie? I think he has. Well, that's all we have time for. Check out Deadpool in theaters now if you haven't already. And if you have seen it, I would recommend checking out Deadpool Kills the Marvel Universe, which is really, really well done. And you might as well start catching up on Cable and Deadpool for the sequel, because it's going to be a buddy cop film and it's going to be hilarious. Make sure you're following me, Connie, and Tonight in San Diego on Twitter and Facebook for the next episode of Nerdy Notes. Until then, see you later.